All things are going to become new. We are on our way to the kingdom, but we must remain steadfast. 1 Samuel 30:6, to encourage that brother or that sister who may be watching, or the brother or sister who might be in this place. I want you to look at and picture, visualize the situation that David was in, and put yourself in the position of David, whether a man or woman. Read that.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30 and verse 6. And David was greatly distressed.
And David was greatly distressed. He was super stressed out. He was stressed. The world, the things in this world, situation can bring so much stress where it'll put you in a position where you are greatly stressed, full of anxiety. Keep reading.
For the people spake of stoning him.
And he was distressed because of the people. Sometimes people in your life and the people you dealing with can have you in a situation where you are greatly stressed. People can stress you the hell out. People can greatly stress you. Why? Because they spake of stoning him. Read.
Because the soul of all the people was grieved.
Because the soul of all the people was grieved. Sometimes people will put their bull crap on you. Keep reading.
Every man for his sons.
Every man for his sons.
And for his daughters.
And for his daughters.
But David encouraged himself.
What did David do?
Encouraged himself.
Somebody else encouraged David.
But David encouraged himself.
Yeah, David encouraged himself. It ain't going to be nobody there all the time to give you a word, to feed you a word, to encourage you with a word. It ain't going to always be like that. You got to be in a position to encourage yourself. He encouraged himself what?
In the Lord.
In the Lord.
His God.
His God.
And when it comes to encouraging yourself, guess how he did that? With the word.
With the word.
With the word. The word gonna give you comfort.
That's right.
So how are you gonna encourage yourself if you ain't in your word?
That's right.
If you ain't reading your scriptures, you won't be able to do that.
And that's how the enemy gets us. I fought with the devil last night. Laying in my bed, fighting. I understand more on how Christ gonna fight the enemy when he come back. He gonna fight him with the words out of his mouth. I was fighting the enemy with the words of the Most High that was coming out of my mouth. And if you don't know the word, what you gonna fight with? If you don't know what to say to the devil when he comes to trouble you, how you gonna win the fight? Let's get it. Government versus God. Government versus God. Give me the video. Our brother, Malcolm X. Government versus God. It don't have a lot, but we're going to go through this real quick. Government versus God. The government has become the God of many of our brothers and sisters. Government has become God to a lot of our brothers and our sisters. Government. So many of our brothers and sisters have switched from Democrat to Republican, hoping and believing, like we did when Obama was running, that Donald Trump some kind of way is going to save the so-called black man from oppression. Right, and Biden. We've been doing this since we've been over here. Government versus God. You got that video? Government versus God. Yeah, the Malcolm X. Okay. But you got the other one I want, don't you? The news article or news or video. Oh shit! In the media, you see it in there. Yeah, I put 2 of them in there. Let me see. And which one is that? It's Malcolm X. Oh, okay, new. Okay, let me put that man. Okay. Yeah, I don't want that one yet. I wanna. I'm finna send you Malcolm X now. I thought I seen it in there. Okay, it's coming through now. There you go. Started 29 and 48. 29 and 50. I don't need all of it. We've gotten away from what Malcolm was speaking back in the 60s. We ain't talking about this no more. Which shows that Israel has assimilated into government. You'll be surprised that even a lot of our brothers and sisters within Israel in the truth have been assimilated. And you can tell by the way they talk. Our government, our army, our navy, our president. House niggas. What's wrong, boss? We sick? Hey, let's leave and go back to Africa. Let's go be Israelites. What? And lose this good job around this good white man? You crazy. I got 401k. I got a retirement plan. House nigga. What's wrong, boss? We ain't thinking like this no more. The world had to silence this to get Israelites more assimilated. Play that. Government versus God. Our God.
Ability, the right and the ability to stand on this earth on some land of our own and bring about a civilization and a society in which we will be completely independent, complete freedom to take care of the needs, to take care of the wants and the likes and the dislikes of our people, to establish our own nation, our own society, our own heaven, our own future. This is what we mean by freedom, by equality, and justice means as you sow, so shall you reap. If you do wrong, you'll get wrong in return. And if you do right, you'll get right in return. When you're in your own nation, in your own land, you're in a position to get justice. But when you're in another man's country, in another man's land, under another man's flag, and under another man's government, and under another man's court system, you have to look to that other man for justice, and you'll never get it.
Stop.
And Negroes in this country...
And you'll never get it. You don't hear that no more. And you know why you don't hear that no more? Give me the next video. This was the plan the whole time. What you have been witnessing here in America, here in Memphis, Tennessee, is the judgment of the Most High God. There's nothing that can turn it off. You can't turn off this switch. Yeah, Fox 13. You can't turn this switch off. This is because we have assimilated. We have forgotten about getting out of this man's land. Giving him back his name. Everything that he stole your name. No, my last name is it's Thomas Johnson. I'm a Johnson. We go all the way back. Now that's who we are. Oblivious. And the so-called white man has silenced that to get to this. This is when you try to mix God and government, and when you do that, the God of this world or the government of this world becomes your God. Play that. And viewers' discretion is advised.
This is 5 star.
An execution caught on camera, and the victim's family is looking for justice tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Darcy Thomas.
And this was in
This
Fraser.
video we're about to show you, we want to warn you, it's disturbing. But keep in mind, the victim's family wants you to see it. This is surveillance video from outside a Fraser beauty supply store. It shows the moments that shop's owner was shot and killed. 3 men, as you see, block the exit. They jump out, they start firing.
Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live from City Hall. Kayla, you heard from the victim's family today.
Yeah, Darcy, we heard from colleagues and longtime friends of the victim in this shooting, and they describe what you're about to see as inhumane. Now, again, we do want to emphasize that this video is graphic and you should watch at your own discretion. The video starts when you see the victim, identified by family as Khalid Al-Ghazali, opening the gate and backing into the back parking lot of his business, Royal B Beauty Supply in Fraser. But to the left, watch the maroon SUV on the other side of the fence in a neighboring lot drive forward. Moments after Al-Ghazali backs in, the SUV pulls around and blocks the entrance to his lot. 3 men jump out of the SUV and fire shots into Al-Ghazali's truck. The victim accelerates, heading straight for the men in their SUV and hits it. 2 of the 3 men keep shooting, then all 3 run away, leaving Al-Ghazali to die. Now, again, we did send that video to Memphis police to make sure they also had it. They said it is part of their evidence and this is an active and ongoing investigation. Now, moments ago, we heard from friends and colleagues of the victim, Al-Ghazali, and we were told that they met with council members throughout the day trying to figure out how they can also help tackle this violent crime problem that we have here. We heard from a longtime friend of the victim. Take a listen.
First of all, I'd like to say that Khalid was not just a friend, but a dear brother to me for 17 years. I'd like to give condolences to his family.
What you're watching before your eyes is a insurrection being created. When the Most High say he gonna make all nations come against Israel in the last, he meant every last word of it. The Arabs have created a coalition. They ain't finna go for this. Right? You was wondering how they gonna come in our house and take our homes, and you watching it. You wondering why Jake out there cutting up? They getting ready. They already and finna pass the law in a minute that parents gonna have to pay $1,000. If your child out there messing up, if you ain't got the money, you gonna go do some community service. This is where we headed. Finish it up. Can you have some? Go ahead, play it.
He was a loved husband, father of 6, and a great, great businessman in the Memphis area.
Hold right there.
Now, coming up at 6.
Hold right there. Give me Isaiah 51:20. You can't turn this off. The Most High is judging Israel as we speak. It's going to get worse. They're forming a coalition against the Israelites. They are the problem. You want to know what America's problem is? It's us. We the problem. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 20.
Read.
Thy sons have fainted.
Thy sons have fainted.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
They lie in the head of all the streets.
As a wild bull in a net.
As a wild bull in a net.
They are full of the fury of the Lord.
They are full of the fury of the Lord. Go ahead.
The rebuke of thy God.
The rebuke of thy God. Give me Daniel 2. Government versus God. Because we chose government over our God, destruction has begun. Read verse 32. This is what Daniel is explaining of the dream of the king. He's explaining different dispensations of government in different time frames. All these governments that he's about to mention. Let me show you something. Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 32.
Read.
This image head was of fine gold.
This image head, we know the image head of fine gold was the nation of Babylon. Read.
His breast.
His breast or chest.
And his arms of silver.
His arms were on his chest and his arm was silver. This is the nation of what? The Medes and the Persians. Another government. Read.
His belly.
His belly.
And his thighs
and
of
his
brass.
thighs of brass. We understand that this was the nation or government of what? The Greeks. And each government that we're mentioning, the government always produces a god. The government that's set up, they normally worship themselves. King Nebuchadnezzar in his government, his god was himself. When you go to the Persians, who do they worship? Themselves. The Greeks, King Alexander what? The Great, they worship themselves. The Romans, they made a god. Who was it? Caesar Borgia. They worship themselves. Government versus God. There's nothing different between Israel's government and God. We worship ourselves. Who do we worship? Hamashiach Yahushua. One of our brethren, Christ. Right? Don't we do it? So government produces your God who you worship. But we have assimilated. Keep reading.
Verse 33.
Come on.
His legs of iron.
His legs of iron. This is the Roman Empire. Come on.
His feet part of iron.
His legs of iron. And the legs were the Roman Empire. That form of government at that time. Ruling over the Israelites, right? Keep reading. And what?
His feet part
His
of iron.
His feet, meaning this last dispensation, this latter day, is what? Part what?
Iron.
Letting you know the Romans are still around. This is the Edomites. Amalek. The red man. The red dragon spoken of in Revelation. That old serpent called what? The devil. Right? But guess what? Now, I've seen this broken down a lot. Now, you can take this several ways. We're going to take it a different way. I told you about what? Assimilation. God and what? Government. It says iron, Romans, Americans, and what?
And part of clay.
Now, you can say that that's the other nations. I beg to differ. According to the scriptures, I think that's Israel. Israel is trying to assimilate themselves with the Romans, trying to be like Americans. This is why all the thing with Trump and all we've assimilated. Give me Jeremiah 18. Jeremiah 18 and 4. Huh? It can't mix. His legs of iron, his feet part of iron. Now his legs of iron, his feet part of iron, and part clay. Now go to Jeremiah 18. Who's the clay? We know who the iron is. We've established who the brass is, the silver is, and the gold is. Who's that clay that's trying to be mixed with the iron? Come on.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 18 and verse 4. And the vessel that he made of clay.
And the vessel that he made of clay. No, go back to verse 3. Stop right there.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 18 and verse 3.
Read.
Then I went down to the potter's house. And behold, he wrought a work on the wheels.
He wrought a work. He was working a work on the wheels. He was making something, creating something. Go ahead.
And the vessel that he made of clay.
And the vessel that he made of clay
was marred.
It was messed up. Go ahead.
In the hand of the potter.
And in the hand of the potter. Come on.
So he made it again.
So he made it again. Right? So the one that was marred, it was what? What's another word for marred?
Messed up.
It was broken. It was destroyed. You're going to see that in Daniel. Read.
So he made it again.
He made it again.
Another vessel.
Come on.
As seemed good to the potter.
Read.
Make it.
Read.
Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying,
What did he say?
O house of Israel,
Read.
Cannot I do with you as this potter?
Cannot I do with you as this potter? Read.
Saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord.
Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand.
As the clay is in the potter's hand.
So are ye in mine hand.
So are ye in my hand. Who?
O house of Israel.
Who's the clay?
O house of Israel.
Who's the clay?
O house of Israel.
Go back to Daniel 2. Read the prophecy again. Government versus God.
The book of...
I don't want the whole thing. I just want verse 33.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 33.
Come on.
His legs of iron, his feet a part of iron, and part of clay. Thou sawest to that a stone was cut out.
Oh, the stone. The stone can be identified as two things. What are they? What can you identify the stone as? The stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands. Who's that stone? Mashiach Yahushua. And upon that stone, he's building what? Who's the church? Now we get some understanding. Read verse 34 again. Government versus God. Come on.
Daniel chapter 2 verse 34.
Read.
Thou sawest to that a stone was cut out without hands. Which smote the image.
What?
Which smote the image.
Watch this. It hit the image. It smote it. What's the quickest way to take down a strong man? Hit him at the feet. You get them feet, everything else gonna fall.
If you ever play football, right? You ever play football? If you had a dude that was top heavy, if you tried to, like a running back, just real top heavy, if you tried to meet him head to head,
right,
and he gonna drop you.
He gonna drop.
You gotta go to the legs.
You gotta go to the legs.
Oh yeah.
All praises. So the image was smote at the feet because that was the weakest part. It was part what? Iron and clay. Read.
Which smote the image upon his feet. And that were of iron and clay.
And part iron and clay. Read verse 35.
And break them to pieces. Verse 35.
And broke them to pieces. So we go back to 18 of Jeremiah. The first structure the Most High God made of the clay, it was marred in his hand. He had to what? Destroy it. And he made it again. This is what you're seeing right here. He destroyed what he made the first time. Israel going to have to be destroyed so he can remake us all back over again. This is what us going up under the rod means. Right. A crop can't come in until a seed can't live until a seed dies. That was Christ. When a seed is being buried, the seed first has to die to give life. This is what we're seeing. Israel is being destroyed. and going to be remade. Keep reading. Watch this.
Verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold, broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth.
This is our government, the government of Christ, the government of Hamashiach is coming, but the image has to be destroyed first. A lot of Israelites gonna die. That's just what it is. A lot of so-called African, you ain't seen death yet. Our folks they running up on folk blasting. Killing. I'm killing. The white dude just filmed some of our 13, 14-year-old boys at the gas station the other day. You sent it to me.
What'd he do?
He's strapped. The young king strapped. And they were going to do some stuff then. You ain't seen it yet. Now give me verse 42. You ain't seen it yet. Stay in the secret place, Israel. Stay in the secret place. It's about to go down. God is not mocked. Stay in the secret place. Read verse 42.
Verse 42. And as the toll.
41.
Verse 41.
Now, this is going to break it down a little bit more about this God versus this government. Government versus God. Come on. Because Israel think government going to help them. They actually believe it. The Most High is allowing this thing to go on to show Israel, you ain't talking about nothing. He allowed Pharaoh to be builded up just to tear him down. The Most High God letting this thing go on purpose, Israel. He's letting this thing go on and on, built up, so Israel can really think that this government gonna save them. Everybody's in anticipation for this presidency. I guess I hate to say that. Go ahead.
Then I was listening to radio today, and these people really think a library gonna save our people. They Orange Mountain. Bro, the crime still gonna be going on. I'm talking about, man. I'm talking, they really think a library gonna save our people to get out of trouble.
Yep.
I'm talking, they bragging about it.
Yep.
This gonna help. This gonna stop the crime.
Yep.
Wow.
Right. Right. Look at what's going on. It's right before you see it every morning. I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, and I wake up to Good Morning Memphis, and it starts right there. Somebody did something last night, killing. Go ahead, King.
And then they said, man, they were bragging about the kids, the youth. They happy about it. They ain't happy. Don't know about no 16-point million. What they say? About 16-point million, something like that. Into a library. Wow. Our kids do not care about no library.
Our young men are full of the wrath of the Most High God. My Orange Mound wasn't nothing.
Right.
Wasn't nothing. We think, all this going on because Liberland was taken away and the Pharaoh was taken away. The kids, they ain't got nothing to do no more. That's why it's crime. No, they were killing it. They full of the wrath of God. We have assimilated. We have forgotten about God. Read that.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes.
And now he's breaking this thing down. He said, now, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes.
Part of potter's clay.
That's the same word that he used in Jeremiah. Potter's clay. That's how you know this is Israel. This is not the Japanese. This is not the Russians. This is Israel trying to be assimilated. Integration. Want to be just like the nations. When you on TikTok and it's unprofitable, you're trying to be like the nations. Whatever you're doing and you are in this world, you are part of it, you are trying to assimilate yourself. If they want likes, you want likes too. Separate yourself. Sisters, and I really mean it for the sisters, and even the ones online, separate yourself. Yes. You're going to die, sister.
Preach.
Get away from them. You got to obey God, man. I'd rather obey God than man.
That's right.
He said, and whereas thou saw the feet and toes, part of what?
Of potter's clay.
Say it again.
Potter's clay.
Say it again.
Potter's clay.
Potter's clay. That was Israel. But it was marred in his hand. And what?
And part of iron.
And part of iron. That's the Roman. That's America. This is your integration. This is your white folk trying to get everybody to vote Democrat and vote Republican. This is what it is. Read.
The kingdom.
The what?
The kingdom.
America, the kingdom. The government.
Shall be divided.
Shall be divided. This is not Democrat and Republican. It's divided because the slaves here. The slaves are here. The slaves are here. But it shall be divided. Read. What nation in America always is in a position to, what's the word I want to use, to decide the outcome of the election? It's always Jake. You get the black vote, you're going to be president. Read.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
But in it, in Israel, in the clay shall be the strength of the American. Read.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
For as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, Americans holding hand in hand with Israel, they shall not go unpunished. You got something? Uh-huh. Oh, get that miry definition. It's right there. Miry. What does that say? Miry clay. This is a clay. It's a softer version. Something that you can mold. A miry clay, right? Oh yeah, mold and clay, right? Right. Read on. Right. Read on.
Verse 42.
Come on.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron.
Part of iron.
And part of clay.
And part of clay.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong. And partly broken.
The kingdom shall be partly strong. Why? Because America is the iron. But Israel is under the curses. They broken. We broken. We are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So the iron is trying to mix with some broken people who don't know who they are. Read.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay.
Listen what the Most High said. And whereas thou saw the iron mixed, miscegenation. Is that the word? A miscegenation? Thank you.
Democracy.
Yeah. Clay, they shall mix. Read.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Read.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
They shall not cleave one to another. Come on.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Even so iron shall not mix with clay. Watch the judgment. Read 44.
Verse 44.
Come on.
And in the days of these kings.
And the days of these kings, these governments.
Shall the God of heaven.
The God of who?
The God of heaven.
The God of heaven.
Set up a kingdom.
Read.
Which shall never be destroyed.
Which shall never be destroyed.
And the kingdom.
And the kingdom.
Shall not be left to other people.
It shall not be left to other people.
But it shall break in pieces.
Ooh, it shall break in pieces. Read.
And consume
all
these kingdoms.
All these kingdoms. This is where we come in at.
Yes, sir.
This is where we come in at. This is why you got to separate yourself. He's building an army in the face of the enemy right now. Read verse 45, and I'm almost done with this. I got one more precept.
And it shall stand forever.
And it shall stand forever. That government. Read.
Verse 45.
Come on.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain.
For as much as thou saw a stone, which was Christ, cut out of the mountain without hands. Come on.
Without hands.
And why did it say without hands? It said without hands because Christ was made with the hands of God. He was spoken into existence. He was the first of his creation. Read.
And that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God hath made known to the king.
Come on.
What shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain. And the interpretation thereof sure.
Is sure. You can put your money on that. Oh yeah. Last precept. Give me let's go to First Maccabees. No, matter of fact, I don't want to go there. Right. I was going to go to First Maccabees, but I'm not. I'm going to save some time. But even in the Maccabees, there were some wicked Israelites who wanted to be just like the Greeks. They consented to their religion. Right? But, Second Maccabees 4 and 12. But we're not going to go there. We're going to end with give me Jeremiah 30, verse 18. Jeremiah 30, 18. We're going to end right here. Warn somebody, y'all. Life is too short. Warn somebody. Warn your family members. Warn them that the wages of sin is death. Warn them that America is about to be destroyed. Warn them that Trump ain't going to save you. Warn them that Biden ain't going to save them. Warn them to come out of this world. Be ye separate, said the Lord. Read verse 18.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 18.
Read on.
Thus saith the Lord.
What did he say?
Behold.
Behold.
I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents.
You can bank on it. Read.
And have mercy on his dwelling places.
Yeah.
And the city shall be builded upon her own heap.
The city going to be built upon her own heaps. Read.
And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof.
Read on.
And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving. And the voice of them that make merry.
Read.
And I will multiply them.
He said, I will multiply them, Israel. Come on.
And they shall not be few.
And they ain't going to be few.
I will also glorify them.
I'm going to glorify them.
And they shall not be small.
And they shall not be small. Read.
Their children also shall be as aforetime.
Their children shall be also as aforetime. It's one thing Israel can do. Israel can make some babies. Israel can make some babies. Versus the heathen. Come on. Oh, we do it. We do everything great. Their children also shall be as aforetime. Come on.
And their
congregation
shall be established. Before me.
Before me. Come on.
And I will punish
all
that oppress them.
Every last one of them that have been oppressing us. And I want the heathen to know that. Even you folks online, you may be trying to spy out our liberty, like the Bible say. You are going to be punished. You reap what you sow. You oppressed us, you will be oppressed. You enslaved us, you will be enslaved. Thus to the Lord. Read on.
Verse 21. And their nobles shall be of themselves.
Our nobles shall be of ourselves. We ain't going to need no Donald Trump. We ain't going to need no Biden. Our nobles going to be of us. My brother going to rule the nation. Read.
And their governor shall proceed from the midst of them.
No, from another nation.
From the midst of them.
Their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. Read.
And I will cause him to draw near.
I will cause them to draw near. Come on.
And he shall approach unto me.
Go ahead.
For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me?
Read.
Saith the Lord.
Come on.
And ye shall be my people.
Did the Most High say it right
and
here?
I
He
will
said,
be.
ye shall be my people.
And I will be your God.
And I will be your God. Read.
Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury.
Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury. Come on.
A continuing whirlwind.
A continuing whirlwind.
It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked.
It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Read.
The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return.
The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until what?
Until he have done it.
Until he have accomplished. His word will not come back to him void. Read.
And until he have performed the intent of his heart.
And until he have performed the intents of his heart.
In the latter days.
In the last days.
Ye shall consider it.
And we're considering it right now. Get ready, Israel. Prepare yourself. Separate yourself. Love your God. Love your people. Offend less. Con?
Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
Shabbat Shalom. Today class, God versus government. And there's certain decrees out here that is actually against God. Give me Isaiah 10:1. There's a lot of decrees out here against God, but I choose a particular one. Isaiah 10:1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
It said what?
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Keep going.
And that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
So he said, destruction to those that make unrighteous laws in this land. Whoever. It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So it's one particular law that the Most High put on my spirit to look at. The Civil Rights Act, 1964. And a lot of people, they use this in our job force. What they call it, like an EOC or whatever. They help the ones that being discriminated in the workforce. And they help certain particular ones that the Most High against. Who was it? Who do they help? Who do they help in the workforce that being discriminated? What type of people? Y'all know. Who? No. Being discriminated. Gay. They help the ones, they help gay people. The alphabet clique. So that's an unrighteous decree towards the Most High. They help the ones that they start religion, race, what else? Even they help the alphabet clique in the churches too. So if the church is discriminating against these alphabet people, guess what? The civil rights gonna kick in. So guess what? So they help the ones that's against God. But guess what? The Most High, he discriminated against them. Yeah, the transformers. So it brings out some discrimination scriptures that the Most High against them people. Give me Leviticus 20:13.
Leviticus.
Right.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna pull out some discrimination scriptures. All right.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
It say if a man also lie with mankind.
As he lied with a woman.
As he lied with a woman.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
He said both of them have committed abomination. Keep going.
They shall surely be put to death.
He said what?
They shall surely be put to death.
It said they should surely be put to death. For what? Now finish it up.
Their blood shall be upon them.
So this is discrimination of scripture from God. Can he allow this in his congregation? But they do. They stand up for him. They stand up for him. And they justify it. You can't go against these people because how they is. But God against them. Guess what they can't receive? If they continue in this sin. Huh? Matter of fact, give me the Deuteronomy 23:1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 1. He that is wounded in the stones, or have his privy members cut off,
what?
Or have his privy member cut off,
keep going,
shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Guess what? A transgender can't come in the congregation of the Lord. But guess what? They approve it your workforce at the Civil Rights Act. They bagged this up. They bagged them up. They bagged them up. But guess what? The Most High, he showed discrimination. He showed discrimination. But the Civil Rights Act bagged these people up, and they totally going against God. Even even a church go against them, guess what? The civil rights bagged it up. Read that scripture again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 1. He that is wounded in the stones, or have his privy member cut off.
He said, have his what?
Have his privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Is this a discrimination of scripture right here? The Most High, he discriminate. And they even say this. See, they do civil rights. They'll say this is uncivil. They'll say this rude. But the Most High, he can't approve this. He can't allow this in his congregation. He showed discrimination. It bring out another discrimination scripture. Give me Leviticus 18. See, they got law, they got decrees that's against the Father. All right. 22, yep.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind.
See, if we was a corporate church, man, we can't teach this right here. We cannot bring this out. Guess what? We can't even quote this at work. It's certain things that we can't control, but guess what? What these workforces doing, what these jobs doing, they going against God. Because they accepting it. They accepting it. Keep going.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
And I even think the civil rights, they'll protect these people too in verse 23. I think they'll go that far. They'll go that far. Verse 23.
Verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith.
They probably say, nothing ain't wrong marrying a goat. Nothing ain't wrong penetrating a goat. I'm talking about like, man, the Civil Rights Act will stand up for this. And when you see it, you be like, oh, okay. It look good on paper before you go into details. They protect the people from religion, sex, what else? What else? Religion, sex, race. It sound good. It sound good because guess what? I want to be protecting my job for my religion, my belief. That's what we got to go by. If I say I keep the Sabbath, man, I want my job to honor that. But if you going deep in this law, they protecting something that's against God. Read verse 23 again.
Verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith.
It said, neither shalt thou lie with any beast to what?
To defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
What did it say again?
Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
Oh man, a woman shouldn't be laying down with a squirrel. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. This name a beast.
And you know, like the thing is, the Most High see everything, right? So the Most High is explaining this to the people in the wilderness.
In the wilderness.
He telling them like, hey, and then if you look at it in Leviticus chapter 20, he tell you that, look, all the nations that I'm driving out before you, they do this.
He finna go into it, right?
Also, I jumped the gun. I'm sorry. But the Most High had already seen this stuff, man.
Yep.
The Most High see everything that's going on in the dark. But go ahead, King. I'm sorry.
And just to prove what you said, King, they will. They got it. You know how they have like Comic Cons where people dress up like your favorite comic book character? They have bestiality things just like that, where people dress up like animals and have sex.
Right.
You know, something like it's out there, like you said, and they will they protect it.
Now there's dressing up like an animal, and
it's real fantasy.
No, listen. The Most High is clear on verse 23. Man, listen. There are fetishes out here, and there are videos out here of, and I'm not telling people to go and look at this stuff. There is videos out here, bro, seriously, of people laying down with animals. This is a real thing. Like, I know Ox said something about people dressing up like animals to do it. My people are literally laying with horses. They laying with horses, they laying with cows, they laying with sheep, goats, all of this. This is real, bro.
When you see them women with them big old dogs, and them dogs be ready to kill you over anything for that woman, what you think they doing?
All right, read verse 23 again.
Verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereunto. It is confusion.
It said it is confusion. Keep going.
Defile not yourselves in any of these things.
So he gave us a list of the things that we just got done reading. He said, defile not ye yourselves in any of these things. Keep going.
For in all these the nations are defiled.
So guess what? The nations were doing this stuff right here. They were doing homosexuality and stuff like that. They were laying down with beasts. Keep going.
Which I cast out before you.
He said, which he cast out before you. So why would I stand up for an unrighteous decree called Civil Rights Act? Because they standing up for something that God against, and we against it.
One thing that I saw that really irked me was that the NAACP, they're supposed to be representing basically the modern day Black history, whatever. But when to represent their Black history, I don't know who this man was, but they put a brown sodomite on the screen. They had him dressed like a female, wearing lipstick and makeup and everything, and that's who they had representing us.
Yeah, so that's the cloak that they use. They so-called was supposed to be giving so-called black folks rights, civil rights. But like Malcolm X said, why would you, if you're an oppressed people, why would you go out for civil rights? Why would you go out for human rights?
Right.
Because you're not being treated as a human. Why would you go out for civil rights? So what's going on? They're using black people to push their agenda, which goes back to the precept, lay down yourself so that we may walk over you. So they're using us as a pretext to push these laws.
Y'all remember one time they went to the Civil Rights Museum one time, and the old dude, he asked us, because they had the LGBT stuff on the wall, and he asked us, he said, how y'all feel about that? And they really pushing this thing right here. So it's an unrighteous decree that these folks pushing, and that got our people in it. And then too, civil rights it actually showed partiality too. Sometimes they really just go by televised situations. They don't pick up every situation. Give me a.
They know the entire history of what I'm telling them about. I gave them all the paperwork, everything. They refuse to even acknowledge it. I had to hire an attorney. Now it's in the hands of the federal government because the city, the police department, the police union, and the city didn't even acknowledge it. Now the next step that I was supposed to go to, I went to the city of Memphis EEO. They didn't even acknowledge it. They didn't even return my phone calls, emails, or nothing. All the paperwork I submitted, they didn't even acknowledge it. Now it's in the hands of the federal government. But if I'd have come out and said, I identify as a female, they'd have picked it right up. They'd have picked it right up. Right now, on the police department, if I identify as a female, I can go into the female locker room. They'll have to address me as a female, all of this. But what I'm trying to stand up for, they don't even acknowledge it, and they don't care. This been going on well over a year, hasn't it? Yeah. And they still hadn't said a word about it.
Man.
And it's probably going to end up in a court. But
you can't trust Nate.
They'll tell us who we gonna serve and who our God is. But if we come out and say, no, this is who we are, they don't hear it.
I was about to say something, but I'm gonna go on to say it though. I'm gonna go on to say it. Like I was at work, and they had hired a transgender at our job. What? And she came in the restroom, and I just stand there and looked at her. Like, let me just go on and walk, cause I'm about to blast her. But I just let me just go on and go. You know what I'm saying? Cause I do gotta feed my family. Right. So you gotta be wise in certain situations. But it's like it really affected me when I seen it. Man, it just messed me up, man. That's why the Civil Rights Act, man, it's of the devil. It's of the devil. Read verse 24 again.
Verse 24. In the land is defiled. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity. Salaki, that's verse 25. The book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 24. Defile not yourselves in any of these things.
It said, defile not yourselves in any of these things. So don't defile yourself, man, laying down with a man that's a womankind. Don't lay down with beasts. Keep going.
For in all these the nations are defiled.
He said, for all these are the nations are defiled. These nations doing these things right here. Keep going.
Which I cast out before you.
He said he cast them out before you. So if we look on our history, what we read, why we want to be like the other heathen? Why we want to be like the heathens, y'all? Why we want to be like the nation? The Most High, he cast these folks out. Man, I'm telling you, we want to keep their laws. We want to quote it. Man, you got to see. Keep going.
Verse 25. In the land is defiled.
He said what?
In the land is defiled.
He said what?
In the land is defiled.
He said in the land is defiled. So guess where we at? We is in a defiled land. By these unrighteous decrees about what these people doing in this land. Keep going.
Therefore, I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it.
He said, therefore. See, he got to visit this place one day, y'all. He going to have to visit this place, all these unrighteous decrees that they pushing, gay marriage, all this type of stuff. He going to have to visit this land right here. Keep going.
In the land itself, vomited out her inhabitants.
It said, in the land itself, vomited out her inhabitants. Give me Isaiah 24 and 5. Start at verse 4. So this land got to be destroyed. Now, matter of fact, it gets some more discrimination scriptures. Give me Revelation 22, verse 14.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life.
So guess what? What we just got done reading, we were reading commandments of God. So it said, blessed are they that do his commandments, and what?
And may have right to the tree of life.
That they may have right to the tree of life. So we do his commandments, we may have right to the tree of life. Keep going.
It may enter in through the gates into the city.
And it's saying it may enter in through the gates into the city. So we got to keep these commandments. Man, this government right here is contrary to God. They pushing out these wicked decrees. Keep going.
Verse 15. And for without are dogs.
See right here, we on silver, y'all. We bring this out. Like when we supposed to go? June 1st. When we bring this out, we on silver. You probably call us a terrorist. We on silver. Read it.
For without are dogs.
So he said, for without are dogs.
And sorcerers.
And
whoremongers. And murderers.
Guess what? The LGBT stuff, they fall in line with whoremongers too. Sorcerers too. Dogs. Guess what? Keep going.
And murderers.
It fall under that too. Because if our people standing up for this, guess what? They hate their people, so guess what they are? They are murderers. Keep going.
And idolaters.
And idolaters. Keep going.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. These are the ones that are gonna be without the kingdom. Give me another discrimination of scripture. Give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
The book of 1 Corinthians.
So they'll tell you that God loves everybody. No, he don't. He don't. He telling us who ain't gonna be in the kingdom. He giving us straight answers. He telling us who ain't gonna make it to the kingdom, and he telling you who gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? These civil rights, all these laws that they pushing, man, it's against God. Read it, John.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6 and verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
It said, know ye not that the unrighteous should not inherit the kingdom of God. Keep going.
Be not deceived.
It said, be not deceived.
Neither fornicators. Nor idolaters.
Nor idolaters.
Nor adulterers.
Nor adulterers.
Nor effeminate.
Nor
abusers of themselves with mankind.
Nor abuser of themselves with mankind. Hey, this government stand up for these folks right here. The Civil Rights Act is of the devil. Keep going.
Nor thieves.
Nor
covetous.
What did it say again?
Nor covetous. Nor drunkards. Nor revilers. Nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God.
This is discrimination scripture right here, y'all. He telling who ain't gonna get it. You is not gonna get in the kingdom if you follow under these right here. But guess what? This government, where we in captivity at, they stand for this. They stand against this. We speaking hate speech. Now you can't discriminate against the ABC crew. You can't discriminate against religions like Muslims. They worship idols. I'm against it. I'm against Christianity, modern day Christianity. They worship idols. We against it. So guess who against that too? The Most High. All right. Now give me Isaiah 24 and 5. Start at verse 4. So this land got to be destroyed. It got to be touched by the Most High. Verse 4.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 24 and verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
You say the earth mourneth and faded away. Keep going.
The world languisheth and fadeth away.
You say the world languisheth and faded away. Keep going.
The haughty people of the earth do languish.
So guess what? Whoever standing for these people haughty. It said people of the earth do languish. Keep going.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Not only America approve of this not showing discrimination against these alphabet crew, man, you can go cross seas. Like, what's another one? I think some part of Africa, they approve it. United Kingdoms. Yeah.
Canada, Puerto Rico.
So guess what? The whole land, the whole earth is defiled. The whole earth is defiled. Keep going.
Because they have transgressed the laws.
Because what?
They have transgressed the laws.
See, it said the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants of the earth because they have transgressed the laws. We just pull out the laws. These nations, They going against it. Keep going.
Change the ordinance.
It said what?
Change the ordinance.
So you go through these laws and seeing what they putting out. They change the ordinance of the Most High. Nope. The Most High never intended to for a man to be with a man and get married. He never intended that. It said change the ordinance of what?
Broken the everlasting covenant.
So guess what? Because you know the Most High laws, it's forever. We gotta keep this covenant right here.
And the other everlasting covenant in Genesis 9. No, they're both.
Yep, they're both.
That's an everlasting covenant that the Most High made with the creatures of the earth. They done took that covenant.
Right.
And they done attached it to their alphabet committee.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they did.
They did.
I don't know. I just want to add. You all got Isaiah 32:5.
No, we get a little later.
Okay. I just want it kind of.
So it said change the orders and broken the everlasting covenant. Like they really mocking, like he said, like they really mocking the Most High covenant, that rainbow. And it's a lot of people ashamed to even wear that because what they push. And it's on God. The bow do not represent no homosexuality. It don't. Read verse 6.
Verse 6. Therefore, hath the curse devoured the earth.
You said what?
Therefore, hath the curse devoured the earth.
He said, therefore, have the curse devoured the earth. Keep going.
And they that dwell therein are desolate.
He said, they that dwell therein are desolate. Keep going.
Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men are left.
He said, therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men are left. It said few. So this place got to be touched. Now you can pull your scripture.
Yeah, Ken, you ain't lying about man. It was pouring down one day, and Ruth got the rainbow umbrella. Man, I went ahead and got wet. You know what I'm saying?
What you say again?
I said it was pouring down one day. You know what I'm saying? And Ruth got an umbrella, the rainbow junk. Man, I looked at that junk and went outside and got wet. You know what I'm saying?
It rained on you?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't want people to think I was gay. You know what I'm saying?
I know the Most High so good. Me and Shamar and Ezra was riding home from the school one day, and we got right here at
No, we come from that trip.
Yeah, you come from that trip.
Me, you, and your host.
Yeah. Hold on, Ezra was there too.
I don't think he rode up there.
Yeah, he was there.
Yep.
Man, I've never seen it like that in my life. The Most High, it's like the Most High had that rainbow right over Frazier. That jump was so vivid. Man, it was so vivid and so amazing. People had to stop and take a picture of it because it was something you never have seen. I've never seen it like that. I've seen a lot of them, and that was truly amazing.
Yeah, it was a dope. All right, give me 2 Peter 3:10. So this place got to be destroyed, man, because the land is defiled. The Most High, he finna visit this place by these unrighteous decrees that they pushing, by all the wicked things that they doing in this earth. Verse 10.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
It said, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. They won't know when he come. Keep going.
In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
It said, in what?
In which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Keep going.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
It said, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Keep going.
The earth also, and the works there are therein shall be burned up.
It said what?
And the works also, and the earth also, and the works there are therein shall be burned up.
It said in the works, they laws, they wickedness, all this stuff that they doing gonna be burnt up in the earth. All this stuff gonna be destroyed. And when we hear these laws, these decrees, it bring Israel to mourning. It bring us to mourning. Give me Proverbs 29:2. And this is my last scripture. verse 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, starting at verse 2. He that being often reproved,
29 and 2.
Verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
It said when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When Christ come back, guess what? The people going to rejoice. Keep going.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Man, we being mourned, we be stressed out. Man, how they hit it, how the inflation's going up, but none else ain't moving up. The pay ain't going up. Like, we stressed out. We drained. We subject to payments for real.
Yeah.
We see all this murdering going on from our people. Like, we in mourning. And now you.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and put that on the screen at Isaiah 32 and 5. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor cruel, churl.
Nor the churl said the vile person shall be no more called liberal. Like you were just saying, the brother was just saying. The LGBT community are known as what? Liberals. They're known as the liberals of the earth. All of these wicked, these evil people, these ones that's molesting these children, they're part of the Democratic Republic, the Democratic Republic Society. They're called the liberals. He said they will no longer be called liberal because they're vile. The Bible calls them vile. Nor the churl, read.
Said the bountiful.
Said the bountiful. Read verse 6.
Verse 6. For the vile person will speak vainly.
Villainy. Let's read that again.
For the vile persons will speak villainy.
They will speak what?
Villainy.
What is villainy? They will speak evil. Read.
And his heart will work iniquity.
And they will work iniquity. Like what you were saying, they set up laws, right? They frame mischief by a law. They do this stuff behind closed doors, crafty counsel to practice what?
To practice hypocrisy.
To practice hypocrisy. Because what they do, they say they're going to help us. Oh, we're going to help black people. We're going to do this, that, and the third. Joe Biden, they make certain type of promises. And behind closed doors, what they do, they lie. Read.
And to utter error against the Lord.
And they do what?
And to utter error against the Lord.
And they utter error against the Most High. By doing what? By putting these people, by putting their, putting all of their wicked agenda, right? Putting it out there and making it priority. Right, and they basically put it on the forefront and say, hey, you better follow this. Read.
To make empty the soul of the hungry.
Man, they make empty the soul of the hungry. Who the hungry? Us. We are the ones out here starving in the streets. We're the hungry, man. Our people, we just got through talking about how our people are out here on these streets, man, starving, man. Read.
And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
He will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And I yield them.
All praise to the Most High for that, man. All praise. Excellent breakdown, brother. Excellent breakdown, man.
I didn't know if y'all wanted me to do that or not.
No, it's all praise to the Most High. It was on your spirit, man. All praises as we get ready to go through the last leg of the lesson. The brothers brought out some excellent precepts, man, talking about the Most High versus the government. Kyle broke it down about the different kingdoms that will happen in the earth that we will have to be under, right? He talked about the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, and then even how the Romans mixed in and how Israel want to assimilate with the Romans, even today, right? Then Shamar is bringing out how the laws that they set up in this government is against God. They change these ordinances and they do all of these things. So who is setting up these governments? Who putting these governments and these nations of people and these powers in place?
The Most High.
The Most High is, right? Give me Proverbs 21. Now the Most High is doing all of this for a reason. Now, it's a beautiful thing. If you think about everything that goes on in the earth, Everything that goes on, everything that happens in the earth, it is because of you. It's because of Israel. That ain't no light thing, right? Is it a light thing that everything that happens in the earth is because of Israel? That ain't light. Read that, Proverbs 21, read verse 1.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. So the thing that comes into the mind, matter of fact, it's going to say that real quick. Read it from the top and finish it out.
Verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
So the scriptures is telling you that the king, it can be a king, a president, prime minister, whoever you want, whatever title you want to give him. But the scriptures say, hey, this is a king right here, right? The scriptures is telling you his heart, which is his mind, according to Mark 7:21, it is in the Most High hand. So whatever come to his heart to do, the Most High put it there. The Most High put it there. Now we know according to what Isaiah 45 that the Most High said, I create peace. Well, I'm butchering it. I'm paraphrasing. He said, I create peace and what? And what? Mike, go on get it, King. Mike, we got to have some more precepts, y'all. Give me Isaiah 45:7. I heard somebody say, Most High create peace and order. No war. And war. Read the precept, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 7.
And 45 and 7.
It's like it. 45.
My ox tired. They've been working all day. We finna get out of here, y'all. Let's burn for this last little leg. Isaiah 45 and 7. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7.
Go ahead.
I form the light.
The Most High said, I form the light.
I create darkness.
He said, I'm the one creating darkness. Go ahead.
I make peace.
The Most High said, I'm making peace.
And create evil.
I create evil. So if you got a king out here, president, ruler, whatever it is, the Most High said in Proverbs 21:1, his heart is in my hand. And I'm going to turn him wherever I want to turn him. Go ahead.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
The Most High said, I'm the one doing all of this. I'm the one doing this. I'm the one putting it in their mind to set this stuff up the way they setting it up. Let's go on to another precept. Give me Joshua 2. And the Most High is doing it for a reason. We'll get there. Joshua 2, read verse 9. This is Rahab the harlot when Israel was going in to take the land. Look at what she finna say.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 9. And she said unto the men,
what she say?
I know that the Lord hath given you the land.
He said, I know that the Lord has given you the land. Let me read this for context, but we don't get to a point here. He says, I know that the Lord has given you the land. Go ahead.
And that your terror is fallen upon us.
And I know that your terror is falling upon us. Go ahead.
And that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you.
And everybody heard they faint because of you, Israel. Go ahead, verse 10.
For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you.
So we heard about how the Most High dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, Israel. Go ahead.
When ye came out of Egypt.
When you came out of Egypt, go ahead.
And what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites.
And what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites, go ahead.
That were on the other side Jordan.
That was on the other side Jordan.
Shihon and Og.
Lord have mercy. Sihon and Og. Go ahead.
Whom ye utterly destroyed.
Oh, we got you at the class. Let's just know that. Sihon and Og. We got you, player. Well, go ahead. It says, whom what?
Whom ye utterly destroyed.
Oh, you know it's up after this. Go ahead, read verse 11.
Verse 11. And as soon as he had heard these things, our hearts did melt.
He said, and as soon as we heard these things, our hearts melted. Go ahead.
Neither did there remain any more courage in any man.
He said, anyone no courage left in any man. Go ahead.
Because of you.
Because of you. Now, we read this for context. Now, here's the point at the end right here. Go ahead.
For the Lord your God.
For the Lord your God.
He is God in heaven above.
He is God in heaven above.
And in the earth beneath.
And in the earth beneath. Give me Daniel 4:35. So the Most High is ruling in the heaven above and in the earth beneath. Daniel 4:35.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 35.
Go ahead.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
He said, all the inhabitants of the earth, they reputed as nothing. Go ahead.
And he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven.
So he do according to his will whatever he want to do in the army of heaven. Whatever he command, that's what's going to go. Keep going.
And among the inhabitants of the earth.
So it said he do according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. Like what we just read in Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. Go ahead.
And none can stay his hand.
And none can stay his hand. Can't nobody stop what he doing when the king's heart is in his hand, or any other person for that matter. Go ahead.
Or say unto him.
Or say what unto him?
What doest thou?
And can't nobody say, what doest thou? Now, we done established the point of the Most High setting up these kingdoms. He's letting this evil happen. He created this evil. But what is the point of these kingdoms? What is the point of these governments that the Most High is setting up? Give me Judges chapter 3. Read verse 1.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left.
He said, now these are the nations which the Lord left. Go ahead.
To prove Israel by them.
It's a setup. It's a setup. The governments that's put in place, the Most High said, I left them to prove Israel by them. Go ahead. That's why I said, look, everything that's going on in the earth, I don't care if it's the American government, the Russian government, the Chinese government, the Iranian government, everything that's going on in this land is about you. He said, I'm leaving these nations because I want to prove you by them. Go ahead.
Even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
He said, even as many as Israel that didn't know about the wars of Canaan. Go ahead, verse 2.
Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know.
He said, I'm doing this because the children of Israel need to know what? To do what?
To teach them war.
To teach them what?
To teach them war.
Family, we at war. We wrestle. Give me Ephesians 6. The Most High done left this government and the powers that be, not only the physical governments, the spiritual governments in high places to prove Israel. Ephesians 6 verse 12.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 verse 12.
Oh yeah. This is why these kingdoms and these governments are set in place for you. The Most High to set them up for this right here. Go ahead.
Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
We ain't wrestling against flesh and blood. Go ahead.
But against principalities.
But against principalities. Go ahead.
Against powers.
Powers.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Go ahead.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
And against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's a part of the war too. Now, we was reading in Joshua chapter 3, they was in a physical portion of the war at that moment that Most High talking about. We're in the spiritual right now. Going back to Joshua 3. This is the whole reason why these governments are set in place to prove you. Judges 3, I'm sorry, not Joshua. Judges 3, and what verse were we at? 2? Read that again.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Only that the generation of the children of Israel might know.
Might know. Go ahead.
To teach them war.
To teach them war, to teach you how to fight. We ain't even read all of Ephesians 6. We dealt with it a little bit last week, where we talked about the arm, putting on the whole armor of God, the sword which is the word, breastplate of righteousness, teaching you how to war. I'm gonna put this government and this kingdom up because I want you to learn how to fight, Israel. Keep going.
At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof.
Such as before, you didn't know how to fight. Before you came into this truth, before you came to this walk, you ain't know nothing about war. But I said these kingdoms are so I can teach you how to fight. Go ahead, verse 3.
Verse 3. Namely,
5
lords of the Palestines.
The 5 lords of the Philistines. We're going to get you on them too. Go ahead.
And all the Canaanites.
And the Canaanites.
And the Sidonians.
The Sidonians.
And the Hivites.
The Hivites, go ahead.
That dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount...
Yeah, what he said.
From Mount Baal Hermon. Unto the entering in of Hamath.
I could have skipped that verse, but I wanted to give you a little trouble on them.
It's all good. I'll praise the Most High.
The point is verse 4. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And they were to prove Israel by them.
They was to do what?
And they were to prove Israel by them.
This is why these governments and kingdoms is being set up. So they can prove, so the Most High can prove Israel by them. To what? This is the big one right here. To what? To know what?
To know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord.
I put them in place. I allowed them to set up their civil rights. Put the LGBT right there. I done allowed them to put all the shopping in the entertainment on the Sabbath day, because the biggest shopping day out of the week in America, in the world, is Saturday. That's the day when you go and buy everything. That's the day when you go and have fun.
Let me get the precept, King.
Go ahead.
Give me Amos 9:9. It goes right along with you. Because you got to understand, what is the Most High? He said the Most High is using the nations. The nations are that sift. Have you ever sift flour? Old school way how they sift flour. And you trying to get all the good flour out and leave the lumps. Read verse number 9.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 9.
And like Malachi bringing out, he's going to use the nations to sift us, to see who really his people. Go ahead.
For lo, I will command and will sift the house of Israel among all nations.
Look, he said, I'm going to sift the house of Israel, what? Among all nations. Malachi bringing out, read.
Like as corn is sifted in a sieve.
Read.
Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Keep reading. Watch this.
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
All the sinners of
all the what?
All the sinners.
All the who?
The sinners.
All the sinners
of my people.
Of who people?
Of my people.
Of Israel.
Shall die by the sword. Which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. It's like
the evil shall not overtake nor what?
Prevent us.
Prevent us. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruin, and I will build it as in the days of old.
All praise.
All praises to the Most High, man. The Most High is going to use these things to see who, man. Look, in every captivity, the Most High allowed these kings to bring trouble just to see what Israel gonna do. Kyle was about to bring the precept out in the Maccabees. Like the Most High caused their trouble to come to, man, let me see. Let me see. I'm going to use this nation. I'm going to use this government to find out who going to keep my commandment. Read verse 4 again. Read verse 4 again. I'm going to use this government. Judges 3 and 4. Read
this
it again.
Is the book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 4.
That's something you want to say on it?
Yeah, because just saying the Most High good and Shabbat Shalom and having on fringes, that's not going to get you the kingdom.
Oh, no.
It's what you do. What you do That's what's going to get you the kingdom. It's hearing the law and then what? Doing the law. How do we know you got faith? It's by what you do.
Not to hear it, but
Right, that's why you need to be quick to what? Hear, so to speak. It ain't about lip service. What are you doing?
That's right. That's right. Read that again, Judges 3 and 4.
Verse 4. And they were to prove Israel by them.
And I'm going to prove Israel by these kingdoms, these nations, these governments. I am going to prove Israel by it. This is what the Most High is saying. Go ahead.
To know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord.
I need to see if they're going to listen to my commandment. So I'm going to put this thought in the king's heart to set up unrighteousness. I'm going to create this evil, and I need to see if Israel going to hearken to them or me. I'm going to have this devil put up all type of advertisement when they watching their YouTube. I'm going to put up all kind of advertisements. I'm going to put up all kind of billboards. I'm going to put all kind of sales up, and I'm going to see if Israel going to follow after their covetousness. And when I said don't do that, I'm going to see if they going to follow. Man, look, I was out working. I was out in Jonesboro, so it was a place that I needed to go to. And the place that I needed to go to was next door to, they had those, all over America, you got those stores, right, that buy Amazon trucks. They'll buy, like, damaged stuff they get, or returns from Amazon. They have a whole truckload of stuff that was returned. So they'll buy it, and then they'll sift through the stuff, and whatever's good, they'll resell it. And they have different days. Monday, it might be $7. Tuesday, it might be $5. Different stuff like that. So I'm out in Jonesboro. I'm working. The place I need to go to is right next to one of those stores. And it just so happened on this day that I got to work and go in this store, it's $1 a day. They done put a sale out here. Man, these folks will tear their car up trying to get inside $1 a day. My folks is flooding this store. And the Most High setting it up. Who gonna follow after their covetousness? Who gonna run up in these stores like that? But he said, and they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they will hearken to the commandments of the Lord. Go ahead.
Which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses.
Which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. Man, it's a setup, Israel. These nations, it's a setup, Israel. It's like a bait car. Give me the video.
It's called Crazy Hot Deals.
Crazy Hot Deals. It's like man, I'm telling you, these governments and these kingdoms is like a bait car. Get that video I just sent in there. Right there. This what the other nations like, and our people, they gonna jump in and they gonna ride and they gonna have a good time until that judgment comes. Go ahead and play that, King.
Yeah, Jake mentioned that on the show we be listening to. Jake mentioned this morning. He was like, man, the police don't do these tactics no more to catch these children. He said back in the day, and I remember back in the day, they used to use little bait, like little tactics like this to catch thieves.
This is what the Most High doing. The Most High is setting these governments up to catch the criminals, to catch the one that's breaking his law. This is what he doing. Go ahead and play it.
All right, we got a guy now. Looks like he's interested. He's walking to it now. I can hear him.
Boy said the key, he better not be in it.
What do you know? The keys are in it. Just for guys like you.
Pause it, bro. Hey, I want you to go back just a little bit. He said, yeah, the key's in it, just for guys like you. Guess what? The Most High to set up their kingdom with the LGBT, just for guys like them. He set it up. Man. Who gonna give my commandments, man? I mind to set up this covetousness just for guys like you. Might have set up all kinds of plots and ploys and all this stuff to catch the people that's gonna be in sin, bro. Play it.
What do you know? The keys are in it. Just for guys like you.
Check your boy out. Check him out, y'all. Check him out. You're going to have time in life in this kingdom that's set up.
Looks like he's going to be heading east on Cleveland.
The driver takes off and thinks he's scot-free. But when he spots Detective Priestley making
when that judgment comes, this how folks gonna look when that kingdom comes. Oh, there you go. Oh, take it back a little bit, Ezra. Take it back a little. I'm telling you, look, this is how folks look, man. That's assimilating with this nation, man. When that sky crack, dog, and you talking about you a Democrat, that sky crack, man, you talking about you proud to be an American. Look, you laughing right now because American gave you a job. Look at your boy, ear to ear. American gave him a job, man. He making money. You got your 401k, your 403b. You got all of that, man. You the Wolf of Wall Street, you everything. You having a good time. But when that sky crack, you get to looking, that sky crack, go on, play it here.
Game change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, he's turning right onto Martin.
Oh, that's fear. Oh, you done took
Knowing
the
that
bait.
he may have just stepped in it, the driver pulls over. And now he wants to step out.
All right, guys, the door's open.
Too late. And once you get in with their government, it's too late.
Back up. Back up on it. Put your hands on it. Put your straight down. Put your hands on the car.
Hold up, pause it real quick.
Put your hands.
And many of our people gonna be trying to lie to the Christ. What you doing? What you doing over here in America? You gonna lie? Look at him. Look what he gonna say.
On the car. Do what I tell you. Hands up.
Things get tense when the suspect ignores the cop's command.
Hands up. Hands up. On the car, okay? Just stay on the car.
What's going on, dude?
Nothing. You tell me what's going on, buddy.
Man, this dude just jumped out that car right now.
Oh, okay. So what were you doing in the car?
I was just gonna take the car to the police station.
He
All right there. That's it. That's all I want.
I prophesied in your name.
I was prophesying in your name. I was just gonna take it to the police. Stop playing.
Damn.
Stop playing.
Damn, son.
It's a setup. It's this might have Moses setting it up, dog. Don't take the bait, bruh. Don't take the bait, sis. Man, it's a setup, bruh. You can drop it. You can drop it. But the Most High has done it to us because when we had our own land, we sinned in our own land. Give me Sirach 10. We sinned in our own land, man. Sirach 10, give me verse 4. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 10, verse 4.
And this verse 4 is talking about the first premise that we were setting up, showing that the Most High is the one controlling all this. Go ahead.
Verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
The power of the earth is in the hand of the Most High. Go ahead.
And in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Profitable for what? His will. Whatever he want to do. Whatever he want to do. In due time, he going to put one that's profitable. But the power of the earth is in the hand of the Most High, man. These governments is set up, bro. Are you going to keep his commandments? Despite what these governments setting up. Jump down verse 8.
Verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings.
He said because of unrighteous dealings.
injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Go ahead.
The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So when we had our own sovereignty, man, we had unrighteous dealings. We had injuries. We had riches gotten by deceit. And guess what? It got translated to another people because we didn't do what was right when we had ours. So it got translated to another people. The Most High said, I'm going to give it to another people, but I'm going to make you serve this other people because I got to see if you're going to keep my commandments. Give me 2 Chronicles 12. Second Chronicles 12, start at verse 1. Watch this.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 1. And it came to pass. When Rehoboam had established the kingdom.
So it came to pass when Rehoboam, he established the kingdom. He got a kingdom set up right here. Go ahead.
And had strengthened himself.
He done strengthened himself. He done waxed strong. Go ahead.
He forsook the law of the Lord.
This is what happened when we in our own land. We forsake the law of the Most High when we wax strong. Go ahead.
And all Israel with him.
This is what we do when we in our own sovereignty, in our own land. Real quick, give me Deuteronomy 8. We're going to come back to this. Give me Deuteronomy 8. Read verse 11.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God.
He said, beware that you forget not the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
And not keeping his commandments. And his judgments. And his statutes.
Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
Lest when thou hast eaten and art full.
When you done ate and you done got full, go ahead.
And hast built goodly houses.
And you done built you some good houses, go ahead.
And dwelt therein.
And you done dwelt in them, go ahead.
And when thy herd and thy flocks multiply.
When your herd and your flocks multiply, go ahead.
And thy silver and thy gold is multiplied.
When your money ain't funny no more, go ahead.
And all that thou hast is multiplied.
And everything that you got is multiplied, go ahead.
Thine heart.
Hold up, read that again.
Then thine heart be lifted up.
Then your mind get lifted up after you done got your money right. Everything that increase, everything that look good, go ahead.
And thou forget the Lord thy God.
And you forget the Lord thy God, go ahead.
Which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt. From the house of bondage.
Jump down to verse 17.
It's like verse 17. And thou sayest in thine heart.
So once you done got all this stuff and you say in your heart, what?
My power and my might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth.
Ooh, boy, I've been working so hard, I done got this money. Go ahead.
Verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God.
But you should remember the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
For it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth.
It's the Most High that give you power to get wealth. Go ahead.
That he may establish his covenant which he swore unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
That he may establish his covenant. And this is where we have the biggest problem. Even in the land of our captivity. Man, my grandmama used to tell me back in the day, man, if you give, she said like this, you give a nigga $1 more than his rent. You give him $1 more than his rent, man, he gonna act like he is everything. And that's what we do as Israel. And the Most High said, beware of it. Beware of it. Going back to 2 Chronicles 12. 2 Chronicles 12, read verse 1 again.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 1. And it came to pass.
And we going back to the point that we were just on about how the Most High set these kingdoms up and set these nations up. 2 Chronicles 12, verse 1, go ahead.
And it came to pass. When Rehoboam had established the kingdom.
It says, man, when Rehoboam had established the kingdom, go ahead.
He had strengthened himself.
He strengthened himself. Now at this point, he think he's something. He think he's somebody. You look through the history. King Uzziah did the same thing. As soon as he got strong and thought he was somebody, he started dealing with stuff that did not pertain to him and got him cursed with leprosy. Keep going.
He forsook the law of the Lord.
He forsook the law of the Lord.
And all Israel with him.
And everybody with him did. All the people of Israel. Keep going, verse 2.
Verse 2. And it came to pass.
And it came to pass.
That in the 5th year of King Rehoboam, I.S.A.A.C, king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem.
So the king of Egypt came up against Jerusalem, against King Rehoboam. Go ahead.
Because they had transgressed against the Lord.
Because they transgressed against the Lord. Now we talked about how the Moses set these kingdoms up. Go ahead, verse 3.
Verse 3. With 1,200 chariots.
So he came with 1,200 chariots. Go ahead.
And 70,000 horsemen.
He came with 70,000 horsemen. Go ahead.
And the people were without number that came with him out of Egypt.
Man, it was a lot of people that came up against Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And Labims, the Sukims, and the Ethiopians.
And the Ethiopians, go ahead.
And he took the fenced cities which pertained to Judah.
So the king of Egypt took the fenced cities that pertained to Judah, go ahead.
And came to Jerusalem.
And he came to Jerusalem, go ahead.
And then came Shemaiah the prophet to Rehoboam.
Then came Shemaiah the prophet to Rehoboam. Go ahead.
And to the princes of Judah.
And to the princes of Judah. So he came to Rehoboam the king and the princes. So these were, they had their own government at this time. Go ahead. So the prophet came to them and said what? What's going to say? Keep going.
They were gathered together to Jerusalem because of I.S.A.A.C.
So the kings and the princes, they were at a meeting. Because I.S.A.A.C, the king of Egypt, had come upon them. Go ahead.
And said unto them.
What the prophet say unto them?
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord. Go ahead.
Ye have forsaken me.
You have forsaken me. Go ahead.
And therefore have I also left you in the hands of I.S.A.A.C.
So now, since you forsook me, you ain't finna have your government no more. I'm finna put you under the hand of this other government. Go ahead, verse 6.
Verse 6. Whereupon the princes of Israel and the king humbled themselves.
So when they heard that, the king and the princes, they humbled themselves. Go ahead.
And they said.
What they say?
The Lord is righteous.
Man, the Most High righteous, man. We done slipped. The Most High righteous. Go ahead, verse 7.
And when the Lord saw that they humbled themselves.
When the Most High saw that they humbled themselves, go ahead.
The word of the Lord came to Shemaiah saying.
Saying what?
They have humbled themselves.
The Most High said, you know what? They done humbled themselves. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will not destroy them.
He said, I ain't going to destroy them. Go ahead.
But I will grant them some deliverance.
I'm going to give them a little bit of deliverance. I'm going to grant them some deliverance. Go ahead.
And my wrath shall not be poured out upon Jerusalem by the hands of I.S.A.A.C.
He said, and my wrath shall not be poured out upon Jerusalem by the hand of I.S.A.A.C. Now, we read this for context. The point is verse 8. Read it.
Verse 8. Nevertheless, they shall be his servants.
Nevertheless, they're going to be the servants of another kingdom. They're going to be the servants of another government for what?
That they may know my service.
They got to know my service. I got to show them the difference of my commandments and the commandments of another government. That they may know my service. Go ahead.
And the service of the kingdoms of the country.
And the service of the kingdoms of the governments of the countries. I got to put them out there because in their own land, they weren't keeping my commandments. They did everything else, serve other gods of the other nations. I'm gonna put these other nations up, and I'm gonna see, are you gonna listen to me or you gonna listen to them? You gonna know my service, but you gonna know it when I send you over there to them other nations, to them other kingdoms, to them other governments. Last one, give me Micah 4. Start at verse 9. Go ahead.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 9. Now why doest thou cry out aloud?
So there's a question. Why are you crying out aloud? Go ahead.
Is there no king in there?
Oh, you ain't got no king? Go ahead.
Indeed. Is thy counselor perished?
Ain't no king in thee? Is your counselor perished? You ain't got no government? Go ahead.
For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail.
He said, pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. Go ahead, verse 10.
Be in pain.
He said, be in pain.
And labor to bring forth.
Labor to bring forth.
O daughter of Zion.
O daughter of Zion. Go ahead.
Like a woman in travail.
Like a woman in travail.
For now shalt thou go forth out of the city.
Now you're going to go forth out of the city. Go ahead.
And thou shalt dwell in the field.
And you're going to go dwell in the field.
And thou shalt go even to Babylon.
You're going to go to Babylon. You're going to go to another government that I done set up for you to go to. Labor to make it pounds you crown. You ain't got no king. You finna get out the land. You finna go over to another government. And there what?
There shalt thou be delivered.
I'm going to prove you with them. And if you keep my commandments, I'm going to deliver you right there. Right there. But like how he brought out of Amos 9, that's his name. Amos 9, all the sinners of his people gonna die. So if you assimilate, you out of there. But if you right there where he proving you in and you showing that you gonna keep his commandments, you're gonna be delivered. Go ahead.
There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hands of thine enemies.
The Most High gonna redeem you from the hand of your enemies. Go ahead, verse 11.
Verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee.
Many governments are gathered against you. Go ahead.
That say.
That say what?
Let her be defiled.
Let her be defiled.
And let our eyes look upon Zion.
And let our eyes look upon Zion. Go ahead, verse 12.
Verse 12. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord.
See, but they don't know the thoughts of the Lord. They don't know that I done put this in their mind. They don't know I done set them up. Go ahead.
Neither understand they his counsel.
They don't understand his counsel. It's a setup for everybody. It's a setup for them. The same way he set Pharaoh up, let him be built all the way up. That was a setup for him. He didn't even realize it. Israel, these governments are set up for you. You gonna keep his commandments or no? Go ahead.
For he shall gather them as the sheaves unto the floor.
So he gonna gather his people as the sheaves into the floor. Go ahead, verse 3. Verse 13, I'm sorry.
Verse 13, arise and thresh.
It says, arise and thresh. Go ahead.
O daughter of Zion.
O daughter of Zion.
For I will make thine horn iron.
I'm gonna make your horn iron. Go ahead.
And I will make thy hoofs brass.
And I'm gonna make your hooves brass. Go ahead.
Thou shalt beat in pieces many people.
And when I do this, you're going to beat in pieces them same people, them same kingdoms, them same governments that I set up. Go ahead.
And I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord.
And I'm going to consecrate their gain unto the Lord. Go ahead.
And their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth.
And they substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. So we do get brighter. You just got to keep them commandments. And I yield.
All praise to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, we pray everybody was edified on today. Understand that the Most High government is coming. We must endure. Don't look for tomorrow, deal for today. And stay away from sin. All praise the Most High. Thanks those who's online for joining with us. Thanks for those who are here, who came out tonight. Pray for your families. Pray for the loved ones, those who are sick, those who have passed on. Pray for those. Until next time, we say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.